Well, Mauricio, I see you want to talk a little bit about the native features. And actually, you call them the advanced native features of InfoScale Access.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about them?
I talked about advanced features because they are not common features that you can find in a NAS server. But this is a software NAS. This is our server, so this is a little bit different. And, well, you know that InfoScale Access works on top of using InfoScale Enterprise and inherits from InfoScale Enterprise all the premium features that InfoScale Enterprises provides to our clusters, to our software, to our environments. For example, the fragmentation. The fragmentation works exactly in the same way that the fragmentation works for InfoScale Enterprise. It works at file system level. It can be scheduled. And the most important thing is it works directly in InfoScale Access. So no production system is involved in the defragmentation, and no network is involved in the defragmentation. So you can use the fragmentation whenever you want without being worried about the production systems are affected by workload, et cetera, okay? Compression, this is another good feature that InfoScale Enterprise provides to InfoScale Access. The compression works in the same way. You can compress files online while the processes are using the file. And you can use the compressed file in any way you want. The duplication, well, even the duplication is something that is provided natively and locally to the InfoScale Access cluster. That means that while your InfoScale Access cluster deduplicates blocks, your production environment is not affected at all, and the network is not affected at all as well. This is a really good feature. And then Smart I/O and FSS. Well, InfoScale Access works a lot with Smart I/O and FSS. With FSS, because if you provide directed attached storage, you will be able to use directed attached storage to improve performances and availability of your storage. And Smart I/O, because using the cache and even being able to use SSD disks, you can improve performances in the same way you do in a production system that has InfoScale Enterprise. Storage checkpoints. This is another good feature. Basically, snapshots. You will be able to manage file system snapshots. You can create many file system snapshots, many storage checkpoints. You can mount them as they were proper file systems. This is a real snapshot after all. And then the fragmentation. Well, we talked already about the fragmentation and compression. And encryption. Encryption is exactly the same encryption that is provided by InfoScale Enterprise 7.1 with new feature, with new improvements. And I/O fencing. There are two different ways to manage fencing in InfoScale Access. If you are managing local disks in FSS, well, the only way to have fencing is to use the majority fencing. But instead, if you are using arrays, SAN-based disks, then you can use disk-based fencing, exactly as you do in a normal InfoScale availability cluster. Replication. This is something that will let you replicate the InfoScale Access cluster over another InfoScale Access cluster for disaster recovery, for more protection from hardware failures. And storage tiering, well, this is the dynamic tiering, storage tiering that we already manage in InfoScale Access. And multi-protocol support, well, this is one of the best features. You can assess the shares using many different protocols. CIFS with Samba 2 and 3 for Windows environments, NFS version 3 and version 4, and S3 protocol as well. And in some cases, you can even combine together in the same share different protocols. And last, but not least important, OpenStack support. Manila, Cinder, they can use InfoScale Access as a storage.
Okay, great. This is quite a list of features, and this all comes natively with InfoScale Access. So, Mauricio, thank you very much for taking us through the whole description here.
My pleasure.